are a very, very small family-run bakery with 4 generations in the village of Cappoquin in West Waterford, Ireland. Everybody knows about Barron's Bakery.
Your usual Chester.
And the pink one.
And a pink. How's Morgo?
We have lots of respectability still in our local community. We didn't murder anyone. We paid all our bills and we lived on the value of respect for everybody.
Hello, how are you? Good.
So it was some responsibility when I inherited it in 1980 because it was a weight of history on me. So I suppose I did feel, you know, I had to carry on the good tradition and produce good bread to nourish the locals. It's nice to be the same family doing the same thing in the same place for 130 years. You've had 2 world wars in that time, and we've had a civil war, and we've had lots of recessions, and Barrons are still making a living on the side of the street in Cappoquin.
Back in the 70s and early 80s, there was what you call a price war with bread. You had a breakthrough in bread making. Bakers got together and they started processing bread. They used bread as an object to bring people into supermarkets. It affected an awful lot of small bakeries because the purchasing power of bread went into the supermarket and they weren't able to survive. And it was brought on by people who were into making money as opposed to making bread. Whereas I come from a tradition of people who were making quality bread to nourish people.
So it's some history and we still have stayed small because our motto has always been small is beautiful. And when things get bigger, quality moves out of it. And you hear that knocking sound, you know it's baked. I'm going to ask Joe, my husband, to come and switch on the Scotch brick oven here, which you see. They are not thermostatically controlled, these ovens. They take 2 to 3 hours to bring up to temperature to bake the first batch of bread. Then they switch off the oven and they load the oven. So the bread is actually being baked in a falling heat. But after each batch comes out, it has to be refired for 20 minutes. It's a lot of work in this world of today. The bakers we have are passionate about what they do. They love their job because if they didn't, the proof of the pudding would be when they come out. Most bakeries have ovens that you turn on and they're thermostatically controlled, and when it reaches the temperature it cuts out. But not with these. They're only as good as the man working them. He has to listen to it. He talks to the oven and the oven talks to him. Baking is a lovely occupation because it's very fulfilling, because it's only as good as the passion you put into it when you're making it. All the locals buy our bread. They love Barron's bread. The only downside is they say, I don't buy too much of it because I'll eat too much. I think they know that it's good bread, that they get quality for what they want. I love bread. Good bread is really lovely. Good bread is good for you.